Hi everyone, I'm Judy Holt and I'm here to talk with you today about the elderly and disabled and how you can prepare for a disaster. Now if you're watching this video, that means you're probably either elderly or disabled yourself or you're taking care of someone who is. We want you to be prepared. What if a major disaster struck and it became necessary for you to take care of yourself for as long as 3 days? Under ideal circumstances, we're told what to do and that will be safe if we just do this and this. But sometimes information isn't available right away, and it may take a while for help to arrive. Emergency workers tell us that in a major disaster, it may take as long as 72 hours for help to arrive. And because of this, now is the time for you to start thinking about what special needs you might have during a crisis like this. Think about what helps you in your daily life that is special or unusual. Do you use a walker or a wheelchair? Are you blind or sight impaired in any way? What about a hearing aid? Do you always keep spare batteries on hand? With the help of this short video and a variety of free booklets and other resources available from your county emergency management agency, you can create a plan that will work for you. It's very important that the plan you create is easy to carry out in a disaster. It will give you and your family peace of mind. Something else that is very important is a help network. We can't stress this enough. Having family, friends, or neighbors who will look out for you in a disaster is one of the most effective things that you can do to prepare. Something else that you can easily do ahead of time to ensure your safety is to have an information card prepared and with you at all times. Keep a copy of it on your refrigerator door, in your wallet or purse, and in your portable disaster kit. List your medications, including the dosage, medical and special equipment that you might need, allergies and sensitivities, communication difficulties you might have, treatment needs and doctors, important people to contact and their phone numbers. During a disaster, it may become necessary for you to be self-sufficient for 72 hours. Whether you stay at home or leave, it's important that you have everything you need in one place, including your special needs items. This can be accomplished with 2 easy-to-assemble kits that you can keep together. One is a disaster kit that will last you in your home for 72 hours, and the other is a smaller portable kit that you can carry with you if you have to evacuate to a shelter. Let's talk about the 72-hour kit. You should store your supplies in your shelter room or in a closet. Make sure you can get to your supplies easily and quickly. You should have a non-perishable food supply for 3 days. Remember to plan for any special dietary needs. Include things that are easy to open and something to eat with. You will also need enough water for 3 days. The Red Cross recommends 1 gallon per day per person. It's very important to have a radio during an emergency. Make sure you have extra batteries. Include other basic supplies such as a flashlight and blankets. Remember to plan for your pets. Keep extra pet food and other pet supplies with your 72-hour kit. You should keep a list of supplies near your 72-hour disaster kit and review it every 6 months to be sure that you know where everything is and that you can get to your supplies easily. You may need to replace food and water with fresh supplies, and you will need to update your kit as your special needs change. The portable kit is for special items that you must take with you if you evacuate your home during a disaster. Make sure they're necessary and that they fit easily into a satchel or a backpack. For things that don't fit, or for the things that you use every day and don't have extras of, like a cane or a walker, credit cards or a cell phone, make sure they are part of a list that you keep in your portable kit. That way, if you're under pressure, you won't have to rely on your memory. The portable kit should include personal hygiene items and a change of clothing, an extra set of keys for your house and car, a small amount of cash and change for a payphone, and your insurance agent's name and phone number. The rest of the space is for your special needs such as eyeglasses or incontinence supplies, medications, a list of the style and serial number of medical devices such as pacemakers, and a copy of your information card. And by the way, never let your medications get so low that you don't have a few days' worth on hand. You'll need them in case a disaster keeps you from getting them refilled. Of course, it's up to you to customize this plan according to your own special needs, but remember to keep it simple and easy to carry. One more thing about your portable kit, put an ID tag on everything. Canes, walkers, eyeglasses, wheelchairs, label everything. If you have an assistive animal, it's a good idea to have a backup plan to cover whatever your animal does for you, in case it becomes confused or panicked. Assistive animals can accompany their owners in shelters, but must be licensed and have current ID and vaccination tags. Remember supplies for your assistive animal in your 72-hour disaster kit and your portable disaster kit. You should also have a plan for your pets. Pets cannot accompany you to Red Cross shelters, so you should make arrangements with someone to care for them. During any disaster, remain as calm as possible and think about what's best. Listen to the radio and TV to find out how your area is or might be affected, and follow instructions given by local emergency personnel. If you feel you're in a life-threatening situation, call 911. If you feel your life is in danger by remaining in your home, leave immediately.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Jacks. Disasters are very frightening, and it's important that you stay calm. Use your head when you're deciding to evacuate your home or stay in your well-prepared home. Listen to the radio, watch the TV news. Know what potential disasters could affect your community and you. Prepare your home for a disaster. Make sure that you have a safe, well-planned evacuation route.
If you're caring for someone who has a physical disability or if you're physically disabled, think about your special needs. Write them down and give a copy of them to your help network. If you use oxygen, have spare bottles on hand. If you need electricity for survival, get a generator or other backup power supply for your medical equipment. If you have medications that need to be kept cool, insulin for example, have a cooler on hand and load it up with ice at the first sign of need. If you use a motorized wheelchair, keep a manual on hand that you could use if you had to. If you use a wheelchair and live above the first floor of the building, work out how you could leave your home with a friend's help. If you have a cognitive or developmental disability, or if you're caring for someone who does, write down an emergency plan and practice it. Give copies of the plan to your help network. Put it on the front of the refrigerator. Try to anticipate the types of reaction during and after a disaster and plan strategies for coping. For example, think through what a rescuer might need to know about your limitations and how best to communicate with you. A rescuer might need to know to speak slowly and use fairly simple language. Remember to practice the plan and know where a copy of your plan is posted. And remember, in case you go to a shelter, you should have a copy of your information card with you. With destruction of chemical weapons underway at Anniston Army Depot, it is very important that you be prepared for the unlikely event of a chemical accident. The communities around the depot have been divided into protective action zones. Based on what zone you are in, you could be told to shelter in place, evacuate, or take no action but to monitor your local emergency alert system, radio, or TV stations. You should know your zones for home, school, and other places you visit often, and your emergency alert system, radio, and TV stations. You would be notified of an emergency through your county's emergency alert system. This system includes outdoor warning sirens, local radio and television stations, and tone alert radios. If you are a person with special needs and you don't already have one, you may be eligible to have a tone alert radio installed in your home. If instructed to shelter in place, you should go inside, close and lock all exterior doors and windows, and close fireplace dampers, vents, and any other openings. Turn off all fans, ventilation systems, and heating or cooling systems. Go into your shelter room and listen to an emergency alert system radio station for emergency information. Your county will tell you when it is safe to leave your shelter room. For more protection, residents in the 6 CSEP counties in Alabama have been offered shelter-in-place kits. Review the video and printed instructions in your kit and consider any special needs you might have if you were told to shelter in place. Contact your local emergency management agency for more information about protective action zones, emergency alert system stations, the Chemical Stockpile Emergency Preparedness Program, and sheltering in place. Your personal help network is people you can count on for help during a disaster. In other words, your family, friends, and neighbors. Make plans with a specific person who would be close by in a disaster and able to help you take whatever action is needed. Exchange personal contact information. You may want to give important keys to a help network member. Arrange a meeting place for family members outside the local area. Always be ready to identify yourself as a person who needs assistance in a disaster. And don't hesitate to say exactly what type of assistance you need. Often in the event of a disaster, the best and safest place for you is in your home. Be prepared to take shelter there and have your disaster supply kit ready. However, it's extremely important to think ahead. To think what you would do if you had to leave your home. You may or may not get advance notice that you have to leave. Be aware of the possibilities and know your local evacuation routes. On the other hand, if emergency personnel tell you to leave, do so immediately. Emergency services personnel never say this unless it is absolutely necessary. You must take it seriously. Responders put their lives in danger trying to help everyone get to safety. If you use mobility aids, a wheelchair for instance, or if you use prosthetics or life-sustaining equipment, remind those helping you to take your equipment and be prepared to explain how to transfer you. If you receive plenty of advance notice about the possibility of evacuation, back your car into the driveway and load your important items at that time. During a disaster, you'll want to get to the nearest shelter or go to a predetermined location you have arranged with your help network. Keep in mind that shelter locations are announced at the time of a disaster when safe locations and buildings can be identified. Go to the Red Cross shelter site identified by rescue workers or by emergency broadcasts on the radio and arrange for your help network to check on you. When you go, leave a message about where you've gone and who you went with. If you would need transportation during an evacuation to a shelter or other location, try to plan in advance with your family or friends or your help network. If you're bedbound or on a ventilator, the right transportation is crucial. If you have home health care service, plan ahead with your caregiver for emergency procedures. Post emergency phone numbers near your phone. Having a plan in case of an emergency is much like wearing a seatbelt. If you want the seatbelt to work, you have to have it on when the accident happens. In a disaster, if you want your plan to work, you have to have it already in place. Involve your help network in your decision to be prepared. Ask your children or grandchildren to help you put your disaster kits together. Better yet, take what you've learned here and offer to help them put their kits together. To get more information, check with your county's emergency management agency for special procedures or booklets. Get free handbooks from your local fire departments, police departments, and libraries. Communities often hold workshops on how to best respond in a disaster. Arm yourself with as much information as possible. Use this information to create an emergency preparedness plan that will work for you. Be prepared for whatever may come.